Hi, I'm Eric Hawkins from Park Tool. Welcome to come inside on this cold, rainy day. So this is our world headquarters. We've been here about 12 years, and this is our 4th location. So a year ago, we celebrated 60 years as Park Tool Company. So it's been a long time. So I'm just going to show you around, show you engineering, we'll show you our manufacturing process, kind of how we piece everything together, and we're going to head that way. This is part of our bike collection here. My father was a Schwinn dealer back in the day, so most of these were acquired after that was all done, but we got a lot of cool bikes. Now we're going to head through engineering. So this is where all the designs start. We don't get our hands on absolutely everything, but we do as much as we can. But it all starts with an idea, and then it all comes to the engineering department, and it's their job to make it work and start the whole manufacturing process. Now we're going to go out in the shop. So this is, we consider it light industrial or light manufacturing. We do a lot of assembly here, a lot of machining, welding, tapping, grinding, all sorts of things. But we've got these guys here and they move around every day. You can see, you'll recognize some things. These are wheel touring stands right in front of us and the parts to make that happen. We're always building repair stands and different clamps. We make repair stands in 22 different configurations. So there's always parts moving in and out just to make the stands to hold bikes up. Here's some finished product ready to be packaged. That's the TS4.2, and that is our bigger touring stand, so that can take fat bike wheels with the tire on, with the disc on. It's just a bigger overall stand than our TS 2.3. That's 4.3, I should say, we just changed it. So again, a lot of moving around here. This end of the building is almost all assembly and sub-assemblies. You'll pick up, we're building some repair stands over there. That's a PRS 22.2. He's also doing sub-assemblies for TS2 right here. And he's building PRS 25s over there, which is our top of the line portable stand. Then we get a little bit more into machining. So we do a lot of riveting. We cut chain here for chain whips. They're assembling chain whips over there now, so we can actually go see that. So we buy our chain on big rolls, and you can't make a chain whip without a chain. So it's not running right now, but this is the machine that cuts all the chain. And then we're assembling, that's the HCW 16, so that's a combination of pedal wrench and chain whip. And then over here is where we do all our laser engraving. So anything anodized aluminum, we can put our logo on it, put the part number on it. This is a valve tool, so this is what we're putting on it. This is how we get it from the anodizer. And a lot of the bottom bracket tools are here. Spacers, drifts, all that kind of stuff. As long as it's anodized aluminum, we can mark it. More assembly. He's doing sub-assembly for our original clamp. which we call the C-clamp. Now most of the shop clamps are the D-clamp, which is our micro adjust clamp. And he's drilling the parts to go on that C-clamp. We don't do many of these anymore. This was our original clamp back in the day. And then this is the machining department. So we have CNC lathes here, CNC mills, presses, some manual machines. So let's see what we're building here. This is actually a part for our repair stand that rides in the top tube. That's for the shop repair stand. So that's steel, and we do steel and aluminum on these machines. We'll get something a little bit more recognizable. This is what we do a lot on these machines. These are the bottom bracket tools that, well, I think we make 10 or 11 different versions of these now. So these are constantly going through these machines. And then from here, we'll do a little bit more hand machining, and then they'll go to anodizing, come back, and then they end up at that laser engraver. These are for the derailleur alignment gauge. So this is the part that threads into the derailleur hanger. From here, they're going to go to heat treat, and then they go to plating, and then they come back here, and then we assemble. And everything starts out as bar stock like this. And then these two are mills. So right now we are milling a window. Well, he's not running it right now, but basically this tube here is for one of our repair stands, and we mill a window in there, and then we weld a lock block tube on there, and that's what keeps the clamp from rotating. And then behind us, this is welding department. So again, you'll recognize this as a truing stand base. This is for the TS2. So while he's loading and unloading out here, it's welding on the inside. And I think we can take a peek in here and see. Yeah, right in through here. Not perfect, but you can. So back in the day, we used to hand weld everything, and it's just so much more precise. Obviously, we can do everything faster now. And the goal is to make as much as we can in our own building. This is our second welding robot, and you can see that's set up with crank pullers. So that's just welding the threaded stud onto the handle. And again, everything's got a lot of steps. So from there, that goes to heat treat, then it goes to plating, then it goes to dipping and printing, and then it comes back here to get assembled. All right, we're gonna head back in here. As I said, we've been in this building for about 12 years, 13 years. And it's about 100,000 square feet in total. This is all finished product on this side. We ship to 75 countries. And so when they build an order, it can take up to a week to build a whole order, and then it gets shipped out of here to distributors all around the world. In the US, we ship to 5 distributors, and then they send it out to all the retailers from there. This part we added on right when COVID was starting, just because we needed more space. This area over here is where we build our electric repair stands, the PRS 33.2. So we're just trying to concentrate everything in one area. So there's a lot of building of the electronics here, obviously packaging, and then boxing. And Yeah, it's with e-bikes being so prevalent now, and now cargo bikes, there's a real need for something other than a human to pick up bikes. So we're going to head down this way. And again, a lot of storage. These are all orders ready to go out. Spain, Canada, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Japan, England. A little bit of everything today. This is our trailer that we bring to events. So if you're ever at Sea Otter, this is the one we bring to Sea Otter. We've also done the Bentonville Bike Fest, and we've done Chequamegon, which is close by in Wisconsin. And it all opens up. We put repair stands out for everybody to use, and we are there not to fix people's bikes, but to help them figure out the problem and then hopefully fix it themselves. We'll jump in if we have to. This is that electric stand that I just showed you, the area over there. You can put two independently moving clamps on it, and it'll lift 150 pounds. All right, we're gonna head into the shipping department. And again, we got orders ready to go out. And these guys over here are building all the orders. We do sell from our website, so we've got small packages that leave here as well. But most of what we ship is in bigger shipments on pallets or in containers, big quantities at a time. This is the packaging department. So it's also our last step of QC, where we get our hands on everything. We can see the product, make sure that it looks good. So this is where we build toolkits. We put things in packaging, and that could be tubes or bags or boxes or toolboxes. Just a lot of different things go on here. Now we're going to head this way. We're just making a big circle here. This is the QC department. So we use a lot of local vendors, and we do buy some things from overseas. As mentioned, we like to buy as much or make as much as we can here, make as much as we can in our building, but we use a network of probably 100 different suppliers just in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area. But in between every step, the product comes back here. And we either measure it or we check it to the print. Sometimes it's a cosmetic thing with powder coating or plating or dipping. And we just got to make sure that it all matches up, that it's ready for the next step. And this is Josh. He's making packaging material for us. So we take a decent portion of our cardboard we get in and make basically this, that we can pack back up the boxes. And then we've kind of made a big circle here, but this is kind of a staging area for bigger things that have to go out. These are all uprights for our electric lift stand. And the next step from here is they have to go get anodized. Lunchroom over here. All right, now we're going to go upstairs and actually go in our studio, which is kind of torn apart right now, but you'll get the idea. And then we've got a lot of bikes around, a lot of parts around, because that's the idea, is we're showing people A, how their bike works, and B, how to fix it. And here's Calvin right here.
Hey, welcome to the upper mezzanine at Park Tool.
So as mentioned, this is a little torn apart. We've got tools in different places in the building right now, but
Right.
Calvin can give you a little tour better than I
Out
can.
here is kind of fun. First, we keep actually a big stash of old stuff. You can't show all pretty new stuff, so we have a collection of old stuff, worn out, bent. What fun is it to work on brand new stuff? You gotta know, worn out, broken, smashed, so everything's not always so pretty and new. And in here, the magic. What happened to all the tools? We're in the middle of a project and we're in between shoots, so we tore it down, gonna rebuild it, different configuration, so something we do occasionally. So we're kind of in between shoots. So the Magic Mountain comes apart at Disneyland, and then later, bam, back up, and we're rolling, so.
And this is also where we do still shots and tabletop shots, because a lot of our things are small. And as long as we're up on this level, you can see there's more bikes up here. And they're pretty much all old bikes, or they were my kids' bikes, or people donated them and said, hey, I got an old bike, an old Schwinn. What do you think? You want it? So I always take them. We got plenty of ceiling space. Well, some of them are just old and some of them are actually of value. And then as you get down further, those are frames. Calvin can kind of give you a story about a few of the frames.
These are, again, more wheels and frames, carbon fiber, different headset standards. Oh, different bottom bracket standards. You can't have too many bottom brackets. Wheel sizes, hub sizes, little bikes, weird spoke systems, all sorts of testing and stuff goes on. We got to have that kind of goodie at hand so we can talk about it in a whole nother pile of bikes up here. Old forks, the early headset standards, the early composites, the big headsets. Just a lot going on. We got to have it to try it, play with it, cut it up, figure it out.
And this is also the place that stuff just comes to die.
Yeah.
It's not all valuable stuff up here.
No. There's one of everything here if we can find it.
If we can find it. Mm-hmm. And the wall of tires. And
oh yeah, even tires, even old rotten tires. You got to show the cracking, thorns, cuts. Not just another new tire, what actually gets used. And Santa.
And you can kind of get a nice view from up here of our warehouse and production. So we've got about 70 people and a lot of long-term employees. So we're very fortunate that we have a lot of great experience here. Yeah, we're about head into winter, and then we start building product for the spring. And it all happens year after year. Now we're going to go into our shop, which is just a bike repair shop. And this is something our employees can use, or we test our own product, we test other people's product, prototypes, etc. But that all happens in here. There's some kind of Frankenstein things in here. We're trying different things. But in general, we're trying to get all our shop tools in here, and just a place where we can use them, employees can use them, and yeah, pretty straightforward. That's our wall, our history wall. So it's things that we either don't make anymore or they're prototypes. Things that we've updated, that's the old version. And luckily, we've kept a lot of those things over the years. Now we're back up to the office. This is our graphics department, art department. So we do a lot of video. So we have 2 full-time people doing video, graphic artists. Alex manages this department. This is where we do all our packaging, design, stickers, t-shirts, catalogs, web pages, etc. And then we're back up front here. So there you have it. That's our facility in Oakdale, Minnesota. And thanks for joining in.